What's up, guys? Hello, and welcome back to the WCS America Qualifier. Max with Toss, joined by Axlab, and what do we got coming up next?
We got Nony.
Ooh.
I haven't seen Nony play for...
You mean, we got Mario.
Yes, but... Well, okay, so I'll talk about Mario in a second, but I'm really excited to get to cast the Nony game.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since we've seen
I know a lot of
Nony
people
games.
have been asking.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
to
people really want to see him play.
play.
So he's made it far in the tournament. Of course, this is the exact same round as his losers round 7. Maybe it's 8. 7. The same round we saw in Control get knocked out in just there. But he's up against HTO Mario. He used to go by the name of Echo. A lot of people probably know about him. A Terran player. Came up with a lot of creative builds on TL forums and whatnot.
Huh. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. It should be interesting. Again, guys, best of 3. This is losers bracket round 8. The winner moves on. The loser is out. This is Elimination Sunday. Again, we'll be continuing coverage of this tournament throughout the week, starting tomorrow, the next day, the next day, and the next day. So be sure to tune in, guys, every single day for some awesome StarCraft 2 Heart of the Storm action. And yeah, I was going to give someone a shout out on Twitter, but I lost the tweet. There we go. Austin said he wanted to see a Massa or Nony game, if possible. And here's your Nony game, sir. Thanks for your
We may get a
tweet.
Massa later. I think he's still in his tournament. I was following his progress earlier.
I'd be interested to see that.
He was in round 6, so I'll try to see. He was up against Brent. We'll see if he is still in it. Maybe we can grab a Massa game in a bit.
Yep. All right. So here we are in game number 1 of this best of 3. Top left-hand location of Star Station. We have the blue Terran player Mario. His opponent in the bottom right-hand location used to be on Team Liquid, was known as Tyler, but he is now teamless and known as Nony. See what he can do here.
He was actually really known as Nony before he was known as Tyler.
Yes.
In the Brood War.
Yes.
But then he went to Tyler, then he went back to Nony. So a little bit of the back and forth there. Of course, a really well-spoken, intelligent person.
Yeah.
It's really fun
doesn't he have a YouTube channel? I feel like we should plug that. I know he has some YouTube videos that are famous.
Yes. I don't know if he has them all collected on one channel
Okay.
or not.
He has a stream, though, for sure. Definitely check that out.
Yeah. Really, really good stream.
He was on State of the Game.
Yes.
He was one of the regulars when that was...
One of the pillars.
Yes.
As they so called them.
Yep. Actually, we got 2 State of the Game pillars in a row.
That's right.
In Control and Nony.
2 of the best. 2 of the best.
All right, so...
In Control fell. Let's see if Nony will fall as well, or if he's going to take down Mario. Of course, Mario, I have to mention, you know, is also a cool member of the community.
Yeah?
Known as iEcho, does a lot of his own little strategies, a lot of creative play. We can see that already. He's going to reactor out factory units very early on in this game.
We know how scary factory units can be in the early game against
these
Protoss.
depots, they've got like satellites.
I think, I'm not sure, but I think that's a skin you can get.
Yeah. Did they get like extra like cable TV in the depots so to get more food? Cause it's
no, there's only supply in there. There's no people in there.
But there's like antennas and stuff.
That's to keep it cool.
Okay.
Oh no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe to receive orders for what supply shipments should go out.
Oh yes.
Here
we go.
So I guess that would imply there are people in there, unless it's all robotic. Anyway, Stalker coming forward. He's trying to take those antennas off. Doesn't want those supply depots communicating with the outside world.
This Stalker, though, his days could be numbered. Because as soon as 4 Hellions come out, they're just going to run him down. But the Stalker will see 4 I mean, Nony's got to be suspicious. He sees a wall with no barracks.
No Marines.
No commands.
He's like, okay, what's going on? He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he wants to get back.
It's too quiet.
Decided he's going to come back, and at this point, he knows the Stalker might die. 2
It's
Stalkers now.
And here come the 4 Hellions, though.
They should still be taking 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, they should. Let's see how Nony can handle this.
The trick here is Mario's got a micro. He can't lose any Hellions. I mean, well, I guess he can.
Oh, he's just going to run it by.
Yeah. The thing is you can always just avoid losing Hellions because he had that faster speed.
Just now, Sentry starting.
But he's really going to prioritize the run by
Yes.
in hopes that he can catch Nony off guard. But Nony will be totally fine as long as he hits the force field correctly. If he misses the force field, this could be disastrous. Nony!
He still can hit it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Good.
All right, he does have enough energy for Photon Overcharge, so he can use that right now. And I think it'd be a good decision to do that, wouldn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
I mean,
I think it'd be a bad decision to do that.
You would kill 1 Hellion, maybe.
Oh, the Hellion sneaking on by. The 2nd Sentry just now popping, I think. Going straight for that mineral line. Let's see how much So how many probes he can track down? The probes are kind of lined up a little bit. There's the photon overturn of the Nexus in the main. How many probes were lost there?
I don't think he actually got too many there. Only 4. And one of them was a scouting probe, probably. Okay. So not too much damage done there. Okay. I actually thought Nony would have a second sentry on time to hit the force field, but he didn't. That actually, I mean, ideally he would have hit another force field, and then the Hellions would have had to leave, right?
Right.
But meanwhile, let's see how Mario is following up the build.
He's got 2 command centers in production.
A second factory as well. Of course, 1 command center on the low ground. So he's going to go into mech play, or at least heavy mech usage, which I think is awesome. Because we've seen a lot of Europeans and even a couple of the top Koreans really use mech to a lot of success, even against Protoss. Straylock did a lot of great matches in the WCS. Europe qualifier using primarily mech, but I haven't really seen anybody use it on the NA server yet. Actually, I have, but not very often.
Right.
At least not.
What about Master Ravens?
There's only one person who does that.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Ranish.
That's right.
AKA Axlab.
That'll happen. So people still have to figure out that Hellbats are really good. Then they'll start learning that Ravens are really good.
All right.
Terrans only discover 1 unit every 3 months. That's kind of how it works.
I guess
so
you're helping them along.
The first 3 months of the beta, or the first 3 months of Heart of Storm, they've been discovering the medevac.
Yes.
3 months into it, we're going to see nothing but Hellbats, and then another 3 months after that, it's going to be Ravens.
What about Protoss and Zerg?
They've already discovered other stuff. Okay. Protoss and Zerg are clearly more intense.
So we got Mario.
I'm so biased here.
It's fine. We see a medevac with 3 Widowmines.
I'm being mostly sarcastic.
Nony had an observer.
Yes.
That walked right by that medevac. So he should know it's coming.
He should. He has Mothership Core back to defend. He has got another observer. He's got a lot of great observer coverage. So he's.
How many does he have?
He has 3 total right now that I can see.
Okay.
Does he have?
Yeah. 3. Yep.
And so he's going to catch this medevac, but he's not bringing the observer back, which means he has no observer in his base to help detect these Widow Mines if they get burrowed.
Yep.
Nony! He saw his medevac twice.
Here comes the
drop.
drop.
Oh, he's a cannon. Never mind. He's fine.
Okay, there's
the
cannon.
We'll
oh, the probes. Are they going to get killed?
Oh, that was going to hit.
Ah!
That was 6?
That was a lot.
Oh, no.
That was a lot.
Nony did not want that to have happened. Stalker should deflect this drop from doing any significant damage, but it's already paid for itself.
Let's see how much he lost there as far as workers.
Total. So he's up to 12 total, and I think he was at 4, so it was 8 total in that series of events. And now some Hellions coming out. The idea of these Hellions are going to sit in front of the Protoss base, and they can tell if Protoss is pushing out. It's kind of like a Terran equivalent of an observer.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not invisible, but they're faster than everything else, so, you know, you can just run away. Actually, it's going to charge right in here. It's actually getting any kills.
I don't think...
It might be a distraction for more drops.
Yeah.
There the drops go in.
There's a cannon there trying to target down the medevac, but the Widowmine's getting dropped down. The probes are not running.
Oh, they're
just now running.
Ooh,
oh
barely
my gosh,
so
close. Okay, 2 Widowmines go down, 1 medevac goes down.
And
I think
Hellions.
Nony is going to be
fine
Hellions. With how that was concerned. But Mario, behind this again, he had the 3rd command center for a while, going to start lifting that over to that 3rd base location.
He's doing the good version of mech where you get 2 reactors early.
Oh, so you can get what?
A lot more Widow Mines and Hellbats.
Ah.
And that gives you the potential to hit really scary timings. It also just makes your army stronger. Allows you to take a 3rd base faster.
Now, Nony putting his 3rd down right away as well.
Yes.
So no intentions of doing any sort of the 2 base push?
No, which is 100% correct. Trying to do a 2 base push against mech. There are some weird times it can work, but usually typically the mech player has to make some severe positional mistakes.
Yep.
Or if you get way ahead early, something like that. A nice little pylon, both to deny a command center being put down there, as well as additional scouting information, but these 4 Hellbats are going to take that out, unless the 3 Stalkers, oh, they're going to nail this SCV.
Do they blink?
Not yet.
Okay.
There's a Twilight Council just being built.
Oh, yeah, there's Twilight.
Nony really, I think he's taking, another little Hellbat drop here in the main.
Gosh.
Oh, probes. 1 Hellbat with 3 kills, another 5 kills total. Actually, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. I think it was 5 or 6 kills total in that drop. And, you know, if you look at the worker count, Nony's still up by 1 worker, and he's got 3 Nexuses, so he can constantly produce them. But Mario's doing a great job with all this harassment.
I mean, it's a great option, and it's kind of something you have to do. You know, when you get those Hellbats, you get all these medevacs, you got to try to make them work, right? Try to limit your opponent's economy, because you don't want Nony to take the lead or anything like that.
a lot of factories are going up. Now onto a 6th factory. This is a lot of mech production. And as that kicks in, I mean, this army can get very scary very quickly. Right now, Mario's ahead by 15 supply, but with the amount of production he has, we can see that skyrocket even higher, especially producing these very cheap Hellbats.
Right, exactly. They don't cost gas, so
exactly.
it's like when you're trying to go for these trades, you know, it's fine to lose Hellbats as long as you get some probes. You don't want to lose medevacs though. I think it's very important to keep those medevacs alive. Because those are you don't want to have to remake those. Whereas Hellbats, it's not the biggest issue to remake. But we see Nony going to be pushing across the map here. He's down in supply 151 to 130. Has a lot of Colossi, mixing in some Immortals. What composition should Nony be going for, do you think?
I mean, I think ideally in a 2nd robotics at this point to really get both. You need both Colossi to help versus the Hellbats, and you need Immortals to help versus the tanks. Archons are great too. It's really hard to get the resources for a lot of robotics units as well as Archons. You know, Archons both tank. Actually, like the only really effective tank you have because Zealots die so fast to these Hellbats, and then everything else will die to siege tanks. Immortals do okay, but of course they tend to clump with the rest of your army, so there's a lot more splash damage being done. Nony needs a 4th base. That's exactly what he's doing, and that's key. Getting a lot of cannons to defend. I think Nony's thinking he's got a little bit of time before an attack comes, but now all of a sudden the Terran moves out. This is going to be a very tough army to beat. If he can catch it with all the tanks on siege, the Colossi will do devastating damage. It's really going to come down to
one does not simply.
Yes. It's going to be tricky. Mario skating ahead of him. Very smart play, both to kill the observers and as well to make sure it's not caught off guard.
Looks like the medevac is heading into the main at the same time, getting poking, or it might be going to the 3rd there. Oh, no, there it is, going into the main. Nony reacting very fast, pulling those probes. Colossus popping into the Hellbats, targeting down a robotics bay, or robotics facility.
Big siege tank blast. These Hellbats are going to be taken out by the Colossus. Nony's going to have to give up this 4th base. This is not an attack. You can't break this army. And I like what Mario's doing here. Not only is he going to get this 4th base, which actually, I mean, it's just a few minerals. It's not the biggest deal right now. But what is a big deal is he's going to set up a hard contain and slow push. He's already getting the missile turret to help versus observers. And what a lot of people overlook is the missile turrets are very effective against Colossi.
Yeah.
The Colossi have to kill them before they get pushed in.
Look at this Nony hallucinating Zealots trying to absorb the fire from the tanks. Has an Immortal in here trying to pull that guy into the front. The Colossi trying to get their damage done by too many tanks. Nony is going to have to back up for now.
Way too many. This number of siege tanks is extremely difficult to break.
Does he have a pylon on the left-hand side? Could he potentially warp in Zealots? No, on the other side, down at the bottom, very bottom, under the watchtower. No, to the right. Yeah. So there's a pylon there. He can warp in and come in, go for a flank, right? Potentially.
He could. A mass zealot flank would be ideal because.
And then attack from both angles. So you can really
if you can get the zealots to bypass the Hellbats, that's really what you need. Because if the zealots go head-to-head with Hellbats, they are going to lose. One tank maybe a little bit too far forward, but the Vikings doing some great damage to these Colossi as well. Nony with more and more Colossi.
Yeah.
You do want to get them to kill the Hellbats very quickly, but it's really tricky to figure out how can you deal with that siege tank count. Siege tanks are great against Colossi and they're great against Stalkers.
He's going to try to make it happen. The Stalkers blinking to the left, trying to take out the Vikings, but the tank's getting so much damage done. The Protoss army clumped up a lot. Mario going to be up 172 to 111 in supply. Nony desperately trying to break this contain, but I think Mario might have too much. So many tanks and Vikings still alive, and the situation looking very dire for our Protoss player now.
It is looking really rough. The siege tanks have no answer. The Vikings helped out a lot against Colossi. Siege tanks keep leapfrogging forward and forward. Mario with great macro throughout this, constantly producing off of all of his structures here in the base, always keeping those minerals low with constant Hellbat reinforcements, and those are very important. You have to always keep reinforcing the Hellbat so your opponent can't overrun you with Zealots.
Gosh, Nony. I don't know what he does
brave
from
Colossus
here.
charges out here. A few Stalkers.
So Stalker comes to the left, trying to blink in, but it's just so many tanks here from Mario. Nony trying to be at least a little bit cost efficient, trying to put up a base in the middle right-hand side of the map, but everything is slowly getting picked at.
Little bits are flying everywhere. There's the siege tanks are just obliterating them. A nice attempt to stay in the game with a 4th expansion here. Of course, Mario continuing to expand on the left side.
Yeah, and he's mining there already.
Yes. And he's going to continue. I like his patience, right? Just keep leapfrogging, right? You know, who knows? Maybe Nony magically built a huge army and he can catch you off guard. But now he scans, he sees that he might just unseat it. No, he's going to still remain patient. And, you know, just be sure he's never exposed. Keep his army always in siege mode. And now he's got that sweet spot where he really controls a lot of production. The Stalker's trying to do what they can, but
there's so many tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's 100 food to 80, right? I mean,
maybe get a Dark Shrine,
I mean,
right? Behind.
maybe 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes ago. And at this point, I think Mario would have so many more orbs that I don't know how much that would matter, but Mario.
He's got at least 4 orbitals, if not more.
Yeah.
In fact, we can take a look at the structures tab. He does have four orbitals, but that's plenty enough. I mean, he has a missile turret back here as well, and he can retreat to that spot. I think he has missile turrets in private spaces as well. Playing a very, very solid mech game here. Nony, I think, just trying to come to grips with how this army destroyed him. I mean, I think he only killed a few of the tanks throughout that game, so he had a very tough time dealing with that.
It's such a hard thing to go up against. I mean, ideally, you want to spread out those tank shots as much as possible. You don't want all the tanks being concentrated on one area, being your army, because then your army's just gonna blow up, it's just gonna go away. So I think ideally you try to come in from as many angles as possible, but as Protoss, that can be very hard to do. Having flanking pylons, I think can be good. Maybe warping in some stalkers over there, some charge lots, and trying to come in from that location. But Mario, I think obviously all that started from just the beginning stuff, the harassment, able to get so many pro kills with a bunch of Widow Mines. And when you're in that situation, it can be very hard as a Protoss player to come back. But it should be interesting to see if Mario continues with the strategy.
It is. It was a really fun strategy to see. I want to see more of it because I don't think I get to see enough mech play, and it was really well executed. Nony, though, remember, this guy was one of the best players in Brood War. Insanely good Brood War player. He trained in Korea. So what I want to see is he going to say, okay, he went mech that caught me off guard? But wait a minute, I've played thousands of games against Terran Mech and Brood War. Maybe try a similar style with a lot of, like you mentioned, spreading the game out, taking a lot of expansions and really trying to converge on the mech army from multiple angles.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens. Nony is currently down 1-0 against Mario in this best of 3 in the losers bracket. Again, the loser of this best of 3 series will be out of this tournament. The winner will continue on in WCS America. Again, the qualifier for those 8 premier spots. Of course, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back with Game 2 between Nony and Mario.